Europe is sweltering. Well, this summer has been marked by wildfires, droughts, and record-breaking temperatures. And now forecasters are saying Europe's all-time temperature record could be broken this weekend.
Temperatures reached 46 degrees, hot enough to clear out tourist towns.
Now, as the heatwave gripping the Mediterranean continues, some countries are recording their highest temperatures in decades.
But even here, they're braced for a heatwave which could break decades-old records as the temperature heads towards 50 degrees.
The summer of 2021 will be remembered by me for the blistering heat. The temperatures were unlike anything I'd experienced before, making my daily life feel very difficult and the prospects of carp fishing very remote. But with temperatures dropping to the low 40s, I felt there may be an opportunity to catch a carp from the Guadiana River, a historic waterway that had been depicted in Phoenician scriptures dating back to 1000 BC. An artery of life twisting through an otherwise desert-like landscape where people have lived for 3 millennia, catching fish from its waters and irrigating agricultural land. In more recent history, the river has changed very much, with the construction of multiple dams during the Franco dictatorship, initially to provide much-needed water to turn the desert-like terrain into workable farmland, and now also to provide electricity to the inhabitants of the region. One of the consequences of these constructions has turned a free-flowing waterway into a river of 1,000 lakes, with the water being discharged from the dam at a temperature of around 15 degrees, making the river an ideal location for a Spanish summer carp. Arriving at the river around 5 AM, I was out looking at the water for signs of carp at first light. Failing to see any shows or bubblers, I packed my boat and headed upriver to the more secluded areas in the hope of spotting some carp. I've just spotted a couple of bubblers actually, just next to this big fallen tree that's in the background behind me. Now I've had a good look around this morning and this is the best I've seen yet. I'm not really that confident as I hate setting up without seeing carp, but I haven't really got much else to go on, and conveniently there's just a swim over there. So I'll be able to fish a couple of lines over to this far margin just perfect. Haven't really got much else to go on, so I'm going to give it my best shot, see how it pans out. I've just literally pulled up in this swim now. It's an incredible stretch of river that contains some really, really big carp and some really special looking ones too. Now this river is pretty unique in a way. The locals call it the River of 1,000 Lakes, as there's lots of little barrages that make each section contained in itself, which means the carp are unable to move up or downstream, which kind of makes things a little bit easier for targeting some of those special fish. Now this section isn't easy by any means. It probably sees the most pressure from Spanish anglers, and for good reason too, but we're going to give it a try. Hopefully we found some good spots here out in front of the snags. We're going to get some rigs tied up now, get the rods in the water. Hopefully we can catch ourselves a fish or two. It's 10 o'clock in the morning and already the temperatures are up to 35 degrees. I'm not going to lie, today's going to be extremely uncomfortable with them peaking out at 43 later on this afternoon. And yeah, you must think I'm mad coming fishing in weather like this, but surprisingly the water temperature is pretty cool. And the main reason for that is the water flows out at the Guadiana Dam at a real big depth, so right down at the bottom where the water's the coolest, and actually exits the barrage at around 15 degrees. And by the time it ends up in this section further downriver, it's around about 20 degrees, which is just perfect for carp fishing. And the main reason why I chose to target this stretch of river, it's a really, really, really snaggy piece of water with lots and lots of fallen trees on the far margin. So I'll be placing all 3 rods over here. And the main reason for that is that carp love snags, and also do crayfish, which is the main diet of the carp in this stretch. So, and one of the reasons why they grow so big. When you look around the bank, you'll see lots and lots of otter feces, and it's all red, which can only be a good thing for the carp, as it means the crayfish are getting demolished by the otters instead of the carp. So yeah, but this spot here just looks perfect. I think I'm just going to pop one of my rods in here. It's certainly getting hot today. I actually think this is the hottest I've been apart from raving in the last few years, and I'm absolutely sweating to death. Unfortunately, I picked a swim that hasn't got any shade, so I've just quickly popped up the old Titan hide. Be able to sit in a bit of shade of that. If not, I think I'll be taking a swim shortly. But it's really important to keep out the direct sun in weather like this. Seems a little bit impossible at the moment. The only bonus is the water temperature is actually quite cool. So maybe that might play in my favour, but if I could just nick one fish, a good one, over the next few nights, it'd make this summer little mission well worth it. The temperatures remain high for the rest of the afternoon and into the early evening, making the angling feel almost impossible. I decided I'd stick it out for the night in the hope my efforts would come good, before re-evaluating the situation in the morning. The night remained quiet, but that came as no surprise to me. I wasn't sure if I was going to pack up and go home, but I thought it best if I go take a good look around before I made my decision. Well, I just spotted a few carp tucked up in the rushes over my shoulder behind me, a couple of small commons and a pretty decent mirror of around 30 pounds. Now, I'm hoping there's going to be a few more fish in the area as the water's pretty cloudy, which makes spotting them quite difficult unless they're on the surface. I wouldn't normally set up or move on to small fish, but it's all I've got to go on so far. And like I said, I'm hoping there's going to be a few better ones in the area. I'm going to head back now to the other spot, get all my gear packed up and head upriver. I'm pretty sure if there's one or like that many fish in one place, there's got to be a few more as well. So I'm just going to pack up now. That's all the kit packed up. Now it's time to head out there and try and catch some carp. Just coming up to the area where I see those fish earlier. Now time's really run away with me a bit. It's going to get dark in about an hour and this swim doesn't look very hospitable at all. Like literally, oh, there's a carp there. Just spooked one just there. Oh, this is a mega sign. Mega signs. Oh God, sketchy. Pretty sweet in there. Really want to fish this wash line over here, so that's where I've seen most of the fish. What I'm going to try and do is hang my line over the top of this snag as I come back, and hopefully when I get a run I'll be able to just lift my line if I come out in the boat over the top of the snag and get out here and land the fish. A little bit sketchy, but I'm confident enough in my abilities that I'll be able to pull it off, so yeah, I'm going to do it. It's going for my old favourite, a little slip D with a bit of white plastic, 6 ounce dumpy pair. Yeah, I reckon that'll do the job. Oh look, I just seen one of those rushes knock then. Oh, this carp here, come on. Yeah, right there in front of me. squid in there as well. Right, let's try and pull off this sketchy manoeuvre. Here's the big snag. What I'm trying to do is get the rod tip right up in the air, come round behind it, just get my line going in over the top. Yeah, that is a nice thing there, so the cable tying it before, so yeah, I reckon that's the one. Yeah, perfect. That's gonna do the job. Quiet night last night. Didn't hear anything show out in front of me, although I did hear a few show a bit further downriver and one up right in the shallow area. But yeah, I'm not sure if I've pushed them out when I've got my rods in last night or what, but yeah, they're certainly not here now. I'm gonna give it maybe a couple of hours, just see how it pans out, and if nothing happens, I'll be packing up and getting on the move again. Don't know if you can see, but I've just literally spooked a fish just there. Oh look, there's another one. Oh, there's a few fish here. This is absolutely the best I've seen so far. The water's a little bit deeper, so I'm hoping I'm not going to spook them off like I did yesterday in the other spot that was really shallow. But yeah, this is looking good. And we've got a swim just over here. So yeah, this is looking like the one. So we're back on fish. Hopefully we can make these last couple of nights count. I'm a bit worried about how tight this swim is with the boat. Actually, it isn't so bad, this one. It looks tight from the outside, but it isn't so bad. Oh, this is actually bless. Loads of room for a bivvy. Nice spot to take some pictures if we catch some carp. Get one rod over to where we see the fish over there. I reckon this margin, this tree here looks like a good spot too. And yeah, we'll just poke one out here to where we see the fish over to that snag over there. So yeah, oh, this isn't so bad at all. I'm actually buzzing. Right, let's get some kit off, try and catch some carp. Mate, a couple little bubblers popping up there. Always a good sign. Gotta love a bubbler. Swing it out. Lay it down. Yeah, solid. Solid. Couple of handfuls of bait. Handful of squid. Winning formula. Let's go. God, that really hurts. Ow! You oh, right in the fucking wrist. Oh, hating the brambles and the mosquitoes in this spot. It's just horrible. I think that's the reason why we don't see Spanish anglers here. Probably also the reason why the carp are here. So yeah, sometimes you have to have a little bit of suffering to get a little bit of pleasure. With all the rods out on good-looking spots, a gentle flow on the river, cloud cover moving in and a storm forecast for later that evening, things were looking surprisingly better for the night ahead. It's been a really, really uncomfortable night. I've been absolutely slaughtered by the mosquitoes. I can't stop itching my hands, my arms, my head, my legs. It's been an absolute bloodbath, so to speak. Plus, I really haven't had much sleep last night, but that's all for good reasons. I managed to catch a 3 carp last night, with my first one being a 30-pound common, followed by a beautiful mid-20 linear. And yeah, it just makes it feel like the move's been well worth it. Now, this area isn't very hospitable. It's very overgrown. There's a lot of brambles. There's a lot of mosquitoes. The swim's tight. It's really difficult to get your boat in and out and your lines. But that's probably what makes this area so attractive to the carp. So down the other end, where you can park your car behind your swim, there are just so many Spanish anglers. And they are literally fishing in pairs with 4 rods each, bowstring tight lines, in an area where I wouldn't even put 2 rods out. So I'm sure all that line pressure pushes the fish up to this area where they've got a bit more peace and quiet until today. It's been really good this morning. Yeah, this is the most fantastic start to the day. Ooh. All these river carp do are fight hard. Ooh, stay out of there, stay out of there, stay out of there. Stay out of there. Stay out of there. Ooh. My little character. Well, that's the one you just see me land. A really cool looking common. Great colours and put up a hell of a scrap. And yeah, he's still quite a bit feisty on the bank here, to be honest. As I was moving up the stretch of river, I ended up bumping into some local anglers who told me there'd been no fish out for over 10 days. And it sort of dampened my enthusiasm a bit. But when I got into this spot, I see fish straight away. As the sun began to set, I could see the clouds starting to roll in over the horizon. And yeah, it ended up being a big electromagnetic thunderstorm last night. And it really switched things on. Hopefully it's not over yet. And anyway, I've got another 2 pearlers to show you next. Mega scales. No monster by any means, but an absolutely beautiful carp all the same. These Spanish mirrors are really something quite special, and I've been lucky enough over the last few months to have caught a few really nice ones. Give me another massive ruck like all river carp do. And yeah, this was the second one from last night. What a lovely fish. What a great session on the river. And there you go. My first Guadiana river carp, and was the beginning of a very busy night. Yesterday I decided to take a look around as it wasn't really happening, and I did manage to spot a number of fish, although none of them big. So I decided to make a move. Eventually I ended up in this swim, and straight away I could see there was fish in the area. This one rattled off about 12:30 last night in the middle of a big thunderstorm and gave me a hell of a ruck. And yeah, it's the start of a busy night. Thanks for coming, buddy. You're my first river carp. Yeah, man. The last 12 hours have been really successful, but this was just the start of bigger things to come.
Yeah, man, this is like real. Oh, sorry, Dave.
Oh, no. Oh, you b****. Oh, you. Right, this is one of the snags that's been doing the bites. You have to fish locked up. Unfortunately, that other one did get away. And even though the drag was really tight, it was still stripping line. Yeah, nice and hard there. I'm not spreading my bait out. Just gonna fish quite tight. Bit of particle. Handful of boilies. away from that snag. Oh, this doesn't feel good. Oh, come on. Oh, yeah. Right, I think he's done. Drop back on my other rod was where the fish I just landed swam through my line, but I couldn't be more wrong. Can't believe it. This thing, man, look at it. Oh gosh, it's a dinosaur. Proper old one. This is exactly what I come here for one of the big old lins that live in this stretch. Wow, man, what a fish. What a fish. Oh God, just look at the sea of carnage. There's just shit everywhere. Still haven't recovered from this morning's captures. It's just literally pandemonium. But yeah, I need to get this sorted out here. Absolute carnage. I think I'm going to get Claire down to photograph this one for me, as it is a pretty special carp and definitely one of the targets I was after. So, right, let's hop to it. I'm not messing around, getting this rod straight back out. There's been a few fish show a little bit further up. And yeah, it's starting to look really good. That's the best one of the trip so far. Incredible fish and exactly what I came here for. With all my rods out the water, I had my work cut out to get back fishing before Claire arrived. Claire's turned up to give us a hand to photograph and film this epic linear. It's a bit of a special one and I don't really want to mess it up. But little does she know, got another comment in the net as well. She's pushed for time, so I'm not sure if she's going to be best pleased. But hey ho, that's the big carp life. So Claire, you come to help me with this one then?
Yes, I certainly have.
It's a super special carp, mate. Honestly, absolutely.
What have you been waiting for?
Yeah, one of the targets. Oh, what a peach. Lovely. I've struggled to keep 3 rods in the water today. Literally, I think just now is the first time I've had all 3 out, as these rods just keep busting off. There you go. Another pristine, angry, turbocharged Guadiana River common. Give me another huge, huge scrap, turn me around all over the place, in and out of snags, but eventually you see the back of my net. This session is turning out to be pretty carnage. Let's let this one back now and show you the big one. See you later, buddy. Right, let's get this big lin out. Got it! Oh. Oh, look at that. Proper carp, that. Well, check that out for a big old gnarly linear. Just under 50 pounds. This incredible carp is absolutely the reason why I decided to target this stretch of river. It's famous for having really big, beautiful old linears. of real characters. And after seeing a few pictures of carp from this river, I knew I had to try and catch myself one. Incredible, incredible old fish. And I'm so pleased I caught him. An absolutely incredible, incredible linear. Thank you so much for coming, buddy. Go tell your bigger sisters where the squid's at. Oh, look at that. What a beast. I can't quite believe the day I've had. The last 24 hours have been absolutely incredible. Arriving at this venue 2 days ago, I did feel like it was all a bit hopeless with the temperatures in excess of 40 degrees and not really seeing too much on the fish front. I did consider going home, but after taking a second look around, I managed to find some carp up here in this really wild and isolated part of the river. As I was getting my rods out last night, I see the clouds starting to roll in, and I did think, the changing conditions might spell on a bite, and I didn't actually think I'd end up with 7 runs and 6 captures, with that incredible linear being the cream of the crop. Now, when I first set out to go and fish this stretch of river, it was solely off the back of seeing photos from my Spanish friends, and some of the incredible linears that reside in this water are out of this world, and that one I caught is by far not the biggest in this stretch. And to catch one of the big ones straight away, literally on my second session, it was unbelievable. And really, really, truly humbling for me. And just goes to show the effort you put in can sometimes really pay off big. Now, this stretch of the river, and particularly this end, is really horrible to fish. Don't know if you can see, but the flies just won't leave me alone. And the mosquitoes now just on their way out. And yeah, it just makes it really uncomfortable for the angling. But with rewards like you see today, it does make it all worthwhile. Now, I'm going to stick it out for another night, and I'll be off in the morning. If I manage to catch another one of those special ones, or even a couple of the smaller ones that you see me catch throughout the day, it will be well worth it. But if not, I'll be driving home with a big smile on my face, and I'll be sure to be coming back once again. Christ, these flies are absolutely hammering me here. He's keen, isn't he? God, yeah. That's another really, really cool one. Beautiful little mirror. But I'm not going to keep him. Just going to slip him back. Thanks for that. And there we go, the biggest from last night's captures, and a solid way to end my session on the river. I've had an absolutely awesome time chasing the carp up and down this stretch, and yeah, for it all to come good in the last 36 hours, it's just blown me away, with that big linear being the cream of the crop. But to finish on an awesome fighting river common like this, I'm over the moon, and I'm certainly going to be driving home with a big smile on my face. Thank you so much for coming. See you another day.